For both.
For both?
Yeah, can I see it? This is your teacher. So try your best to be good.
Whiteboard. Hey, here. You heard that?
And before we start,
It's not recording.
I will show you. Yes.
It's recording.
Hey, y'all be on your best.
And sit up 5 minutes. Let's work on that one first. Warm up. Wow. Maybe we don't need 5 minutes, right? Just 3 minutes.
Wait, is that in the math book?
No, not in the math book.
Wait, is it?
They also think about this, talk about quadratic function, which means we have two solutions. If you only get one answer, you have to double check.
Look at that. I would have went straight.
So I'm going to name you guys team 1, you guys team 2, team 3, team 4, team 5. And when you do this one, also think about the strategy yesterday we just learned. Will be much easier. I saw team 3 have answer, team 2. 5. How about team 4? Yeah, you guys team 4. Oh. So now.
It's on the notebook.
No.
What's it on?
This is a do now. You just use a scratch paper and use a whiteboard.
Oh, it's a group project.
Oh, alternative motion.
It's a group project.
Yeah.
I'm in that group. I don't need this.
Okay then.
We need a eraser. You use your hand for it. Why are you using my hand? That's just me. What are we doing about it? Oh, the cotton.
And this one, the A, pretty easy, right? Because I know I have a 2 squared equal 4. Also, don't forget this is a quadratic function. I have another one, which means -2 squared equal also 4, right? So I get my x1 equal to my x2 equal -2. Right? Because don't forget you have another root. And how about this one? Some students guess, and very good. I guess 3 minus 2 equal to 2 squared get 4. Perfect.
Yes.
But remember yesterday what we learned? We learned about, I'm going to make this one block, which is I have a block square equal 4. So compare your block square 4 and x square equal 4. Same, right? So So I'm going to say my block equal 2 or my block equal -2. So eventually we are going to solve x minus 1. X minus 1. So my x1 should be 3. My x2 should be -1. Any questions? Sometimes I worry about I go too fast. Or maybe sometimes I worry about I go too slow. So you guys is best way ask me something. Good? Everyone good?
Yes.
Any question? So this is one will match either. So how can you check your answer? I'm an adult. Is this answer correct or not? How can I do this? I'm going to plot my answer, substitute back, right? So I'm going to say, okay, my x1 equals 3. I'm going to plot back. I use 3, so it should be 3 minus 1 equal, and the 2 squared equal 4. So my 3 is correct. How about my x2? -1. Substitute my x. -1 square equal -1 minus 1 equal -2 square get 4. This side is 4, correct? That is the way. How can we check my answer is correct or not? So today basically we are going to learn something new, and we call system of equation. This is our goal today. And this one, give you guys 2 minutes to think about this one. How can you find your area and per minute meter, right? How can I solve this too? Yeah, ask you guys question. What is my area? What is my perimeter for these two triangle and cube?
You're gonna write that down?
Yeah, team 1. You guys have any answer? Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Equals 10?
Yeah.
30. No, 30. 30. I'll write 30.
Yeah. Okay, you guys got it. So we keep going. And why I bring this up, because we will say my area. If I'm going to say this is the length, this is the y, so my area should be my length times 2y, right? My perimeter should be 2 double length plus double y, right? Does it make sense? So I'm not going to solve this one. I keep going. The real question is about this one.
She's too quick. Hey, come do this. Hey, we need your help.
How about this one? Mm-hmm. the guy, maybe this girl, going to make one patio in the backyard, right? We do know the patio is a rectangle, and we do know the area, and also we know the twinkle light. Which means I'm going to circle important information: rectangle and square and twinkle light. Basically, what I know rectangle, and I also know the rectangle's area.
Wait.
And I'm going to say twinkle light. Twinkle light look like this one, right? Turns out my perimeter, right? This is all information I know. The question is asked you, is that possible?
Like where?
Why or why not? So how can I figure out my area? If I'm going to say this is the length, this is the width, so I'm going to say the area equal my length times my width, right? And this one I'm going to say is double and double width. And when you write down what you notice, you notice this is a real world quiz, right? Turns out the geometry and turns back to algebra. That's what we talk about, the math is everything, right?
Yeah.
So is that possible if you did this one? What means it's possible? Which means you can solve this equation. If you can solve, have answer, I will say that's impossible, right? If you cannot, that's impossible, right? We just need to figure out the length and the width. Do you guys try a little bit? How can I solve my length and width? So is that possible? So it's possible, right? So if you solve the solution, that means it's possible. I'm not going to solve it. I'm going to leave here. We solve later. Since we already have answer, we keep going to. Since I have, we're going to learn a new math vocabulary. And this one, who's going to volunteer help me read this one? Can you do this one? This is our new vocabulary.
System 1 or system of equations 1. There's a set of 2 more equations written with the same variables.
Variable, right? Thank you. This is a new math vocabulary. What means this system of equation, which is a set of 2 or more. So here I have 1 and 2, right? I have a 2. So I'm going to say this one is one of a system equation. But how can I solve how can I solve the L and the Y? We have 2 ways. One way is graph, and another way is use algebra. So I'm going to show you guys how to solve it. I have a video here.
equations is simply a collection of equations, usually in the same variables. When we're asked to solve a system of equations, we're looking for the collection of solutions that make all of the equations in the system true at the same time. For this reason, systems of equations are often referred to as simultaneous equations. Although a system of simultaneous equations can contain any number of equations with any number of variables of various degrees, in this video we'll be restricting our attention to systems of linear equations in two variables. We recall that a linear equation contains no terms of degree higher than 1. In this lesson, we'll be looking at pairs of linear equations. The following is an example of a pair of simultaneous linear equations. X plus y equals 3 and x minus y equals 1. To solve this system, we are looking for the pair of unknowns, x and y. We are able to find exact values for these unknowns because we have two distinct linear equations, as shown in our sketch. We observe that this system has a solution x equals 2, y equals 1, because these are the values that solve the equations simultaneously. In the diagram, we see this solution matches the coordinates of their point of intersection. We check our solution algebraically by substituting 2 for x and 1 for y to see if these values make both equations true simultaneously. In this video, we'll learn two methods for solving linear systems. The first method is called elimination. In our first example, we observe the coefficient of y in the second equation is of equal magnitude but opposite sign to the coefficient of y in the first equation. This means that if we add the left-hand side of the second equation to the left-hand side of the first equation, we get 2x, because the terms in y will cancel each other out. In other words, y is eliminated. The resulting expression contains only one variable, x. If we are to add a quantity x minus y to the left side of the first equation, we must add an equal quantity to the right side in order to maintain equality. Fortunately, the second equation tells us that x minus y is equal to 1, so we can maintain equality by adding 1 to the right-hand side of the first equation. We can also think of this as adding the left-hand sides of both equations and adding the right-hand sides of both equations. When we add 1 to the right side of the first equation, we get a sum of 4. Now that we are sure the left side is equal to the right side again, we can solve the resulting equation for x. After dividing each side of the equation by 2, we get x equals 2. Now we can find the value of y by substituting x equals 2 back into either of our starting equations. Let's use the first equation, so that's 2 plus y equals 3. So y equals 1. An important last step is to check our solution by substituting x equals 2 and y equals 1 into the equation we did not use, x.
So about this myth, which is a way to figure out, basically use a two equation, add or subtraction, right? And get rid of 1, and you have 1 left. You solve the answer and substitute back, but figure out another one. Then I'm going to jump to another, we call substitute.
The second equation. This means we can directly substitute the expression 5x plus 10 for y in the first equation. So we have 5x plus 10 plus 4x equals negative 8. Combining the x terms on the left, we have 9x plus 10 equals negative 8. Solving for x gives a value of negative.
So, do you guys have any question? How can you substitute? Which means this is y, this is y, right? He used this y substitute here, which means 5x plus 10. And move down 4x and move down negative 8. That is how he gets this one. No problem, right?
Negative 2.
Becomes the one.
We can now substitute x equals negative 2 into either of the starting equations to solve for y. Using the second equation may be easiest since the subject is already y. This leads us to the value of y, which is 0. Finally, we substitute our solution x equals -2 and y equals 0 into the other equation to check for mistakes. We see that 0 plus 4 times -2 equals -8, so our answer is correct. We conclude that the pair of values x equals -2 and y equals 0 solve the simultaneous equations y plus 4x equals -8 and y equals 5x plus 10. The method of substitution can also be used when neither variable is the subject of either equation as given. In this case, we will need to do a little rearrangement first.
So I'm going to stop here a video because she teaches us to wait, then go back the class. So the graph math we are not going to talk about it today. We only learn the elimination way and the substitute way. Teamwork time. I have 1, 2, 3, 5. Your team can choose one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one you want to choose? Which quiz you guys want to choose? Team 2 or team 1? Maybe I just give you guys.
So what?
Team 1, solve this one. Team 2, solve this one. And team 3, Jonathan, Ruben, you guys solve this one. Team 4. And Jadiel, team 5, you solve this one. And I'm going to set up probably 5 minutes.
So you're already.
And when you solve this one, think about what strategy you're going to use it and why you choose that one. And since you got your answer, how can you check your answer is correct? So I have 3 questions for you. And you guys 5, quiz 4.
So are we you multiply the actually and add it? You solve it both. Alright.
Yeah, within 2 minutes. Which one you want to use is fine. So you guys do number 2. You guys do what myth you guys strategy? What strategy? Yeah, you substitute. You substitute y to this side, right? Yes. And then, did you guys check your answer is correct or not? Usually from 1 x equals 1 each x. And if that x, you also need that number y. What's your value?
For the second one, what is
How can we This is one.
You don't stop.
This is
Come on,
one.
yeah, bro.
This is one, right?
My agree.
I agree with machine. Yeah,
My agree.
right. If I'm going to add together, this negative cross out, x mark plus negative x. What's that? Negative 2x, this is 1x.
Would it cancel out?
One x, right? And then this one cancel out, get 0. And how about here? It's negative 2 plus, right? You guys can do it, right? Negative 2 plus 4, right? So negative x equal to, so what's your x again? Since your negative 2, you probably figure out what's your y. Since you got x, can you figure out what's your y value? Since your x, negative 2, right? Negative 2 minus something.
Who's like an artist that's like very low?
Overrated.
Yeah,
Makes
makes sense. Makes sense? No. Like the company like this, I saw everywhere.
It's because everything's around.
I'm a Broadway fan, bro, but
Yeah.
what that song?
Another way you can do it.
Talk about setting
Those people.
This you're going to solve this too, right? I'm going to say,
They're not a breath, the first 5 steps.
this is going to be negative 2x. Anything else? Plus.
You ever notice every single artist?
4, right? I go slow together. Did you guys get any answer? So since you solve this equation, you will be found out which one is easy. We go first one.
No, now you just have.
First one, when you take a look, you will say, oh, I have a negative y, I have a positive y. The easy way is I use the elimination, right? So I'm going to add together. Why I'm going to add together? Because I can cross out. So 1 should be negative x, right? Here, got 2. So my x is negative 2. Since x might get a negative 2, I'm going to plug in. So I figure out my y equals 0. Because that one, I use this way, it should be much easier, right? How about quiz 2? Quiz 2, I saw you guys, they use substitute, which means I write on this side, my x plus 2 this side, right? Then I keep solving. What's your x equal? 1. What's your y?
You can do what?
11, right? This is another strategy we can use it. How about your 3? Never mind 3, they give up. How about 3? What you guys think about? I also can use a 2-way, right? I also can use a substitute, which means y. I use this one, substitute my y, which is a negative x plus 11 to get 7x. So I'm going to solve the x, right? So both sides plus x, okay, I move this way. Both sides minus 7, so I get a negative x. And both sides minus 11, I get a 24. So my x equals 3. Right, then we call substitute. use the elimination, which means you say, okay, this have y, this side also have y, they have a same coefficient, right? I'm going to just minus. Y minus 1 equals 0. X minus 7x equal negative, right? 11 minus negative 13, positive 24. Then I move this side, x equal 3. Same thing, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Say that. Donovan here.
That, yeah.
Donovan.
I was supposed to been going like 2 hours ago.
Alright, you got a phone, bro. Don't be in 2 hours.
So let's keep going. How about this one? You guys think about which strategy will much easier. You substitute, right? Because I have x, the coefficient is different. So I'm going to use this substitute will much easier. How about the 5? The 5, this one gonna be a little bit challenging. How about 5? Yeah, try practice 5. 5 is gonna be a little bit more challenging. Yeah, give you guys a few minutes to think about a little bit. And later I'm going to go through both strategies. Because the coefficient is not the same, right? So you can use both strategies, which is mean substitution or elimination. Both did work.
Which one are we solving?
Quiz 5, the last one. So get it?
So x equals 6. What do you put it in parentheses and put 6 in the middle?
Where you put the 6?
Before the 6.
Here,
Before
right?
the x.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then, why you put the 6 in here? If you put 6 in
Oh wait, no, the other one.
this one,
No, what?
where you put the 6? Why you think about 6?
After the x.
After the x. Here?
Yeah, right there. And then
When you think about 6 after x, what you think? It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
that's it.
No. I mean, your answer is x equal 6, right?
Oh.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. No. Wait.
Because I'm curiously what you're thinking.
Oh, wait.
Yes, you can.
Like this. 4.
Mhm.
And then what do you do? Like this.
I'm going to think about why you think this way. Yes, can you explain a little bit more?
So it says the x equals 6, and then it has an arrow pointing down to the x.
Oh, I got you. You're right, but we are working the last one, which is 3x plus 1.
Oh!
Yes.
So I am right.
But yeah, you're right. You're right, but you just try some different ways. Now we are quiz here. We are this way. Yeah, but you're right. We use substitute. Yes, you're right, this one. But this one we're working this one.
And then we're doing the second one or the first one?
This one. I go through. I'm going to use a two way. The first way, I'm going to use substitute. This one, I'm going to simplify this one because I have x, right? So both sides plus 5y. So I'm break down my x equal a plus 5y. Right? So I'm going to substitute my x to the first one. So I get a 3 times a plus 5y equal 8. Then I'm going to distribute it. This is 15. Makes sense? You're right? Which part you don't understand? Which part you confused? How can I get to this one? This one is my x, actually. And my x equals this one. I substitute just correct? Sometimes I also make a mistake. That's why I need you guys supervise me. So keep going. Both sides negative is correct. I'm correct. For some reason I think it's wrong. And another way, another strategy I'm going to use how can I use another strategy? Which means here I have y, right? And here I have 5y. How about I just times 5 here? Right, I'm going to times 5, and times 5, and times 5. Turns out I'm going to plus together. This one times 5 equals 15. 15 plus 1, 16, right? And this one 5, 5 cross out. And this one 5, 40. 40 plus 8. So my x should be 3. So I leave this here because this must be something wrong. And I'm going to keep solving since my x equals 3, I plug in 3 minus 5y equal 8. So my 5y equal negative 5. So my y equal negative 1. Any question about this? This another strategy 2. This is strategy 1. So figure out what mistake I made in the first one.
Where'd you get the 5 from?
Good question.
that the first one?
Yeah, because my original is here, right? I'm going to use elimination. So I said, here I have 5. How about I also make a 5 here? So just add together, cross out. So I'm going to times 5 in the first equation. Because both sides I times 5, so doesn't change anything. Since I got 5, right? Cross out easy. So I only have x left. Feel this way much easier.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, we have the ticket. The ticket.
There's a ticket?
Yeah.
You want us to solve this?
Yeah, I want you guys to solve that, and before you're leaving, clean.
I go back.
Yeah. This one, I need you guys to solve before you're leaving, and then cleaning. That makes sense? And this quiz will much easier than the quiz 5. Both sides, but yep. We got it.
I'm gonna do it, bro. I'm taking a picture of you. What about? Oh, what?
That's easy, so easy. He's a Spanish over here. What do y'all have to go? It's done. I'm going to Spanish. I mean, work fast. One. It's too long. I ain't see you, bro. You seen him in the first like What's up, bro? I'm Miss Lee. From Brooklyn.
And also, another way, because it's making this but add it together, we cross out y plus y and 1 plus 19 equals 20. So what is y? If you add together y plus y equals y, if you add together, add the equation together, y plus y equals what? And here, all these x squared added together equals 1 plus 19 equals, yes, what's the value of 1 plus 19? So what's your y? Since you got a y, right? Since you got a y, then you're going to go back and figure out your x. I'm going to substitute this, which means equal my x plus 1. So what's your x? Both sides minus 1, right?
I'll keep breaking.
You want both sides, yes. Yep, so what's your x equal? Just open this square, just use the square root. Yep. Since this is square, you got x1. How about your x2? How about your x3? Should also make here. If we open the square root,
Brandon is funny. He's not gonna play.
when we open the square root, both sides, right? And don't forget you have positive, negative.
You need someone to say it's some joke.
Negative. This side, y plus what?
We. Oh.
My wife is 10, right? I'm going to y
Cause I'm locked in and you not. I'm locked in. No, I did not.
This is the party, another one. Yep. Got it? So, your way is also good, but like I say, here, right? It's so complicated, even here I make mistake, I cannot solve my answer, even solve my answer is not like this one. This one much easier. So, before you solve the quiz, you think about what strategy you will use, and which one make much easier, and one will make mistake. Choose that.
Let's follow me.
Oh. You got 5 days? What the heck? Did you fix our lives here?